I just reached 3,000 days in my survival world. However, I noticed a problem. My iron farms suck. Now that is a little bit of a stretch. My iron farm is good, don't get me wrong. It's just too slow for my liking. And when I'm crafting over 100,000 pistons at a time, I really need a lot of iron. My old farm gets around 10,000 iron per hour, but for me that's simply not enough. And that's why I plan on making an insane iron farm which gets me over 150,000 iron per hour, which should be enough to keep me going for a while. However, as always, I can't just build this farm normally. I have to have it in a perimeter. So I have all this space here, but I don't want to build it here, so I'm going to make a brand new perimeter 528 by 528. I plan on building it here. Now the perimeter was done. However, there was a bunch more blocks which I still had to collect for the farm. However, it's at this point of the video I want to say something. I started creating this video on the 13th of October 2025. However, the drives on my computer decided they didn't want to work anymore, causing my whole PC to become unusable. However, I did manage to save most of the video. However, I did not manage to save the voiceovers and OBS recordings. This completely ruined my motivation to carry on with the video. However, later on I decided I wanted to carry it on. Anyway, here's the building process. Now I had to remove the crossbows from all of the pillagers. I was able to do this by standing in a 1x2 and allowing them to shoot until their crossbows broke. As well as this, I had to get 960 villagers, which was easy enough, and all I had to do was build a villager breeder and then wait for them to breed. I think the most time-consuming part of building this was getting the villagers in. I had to get 960 villagers in their individual pods, and I had 3 villagers per pod. Then came the fun part. I was able to transfer all of the pillagers into their pod. However, unlike the villagers, I only had to get 1 pillager per pod. Then after a few days of doing it, I finally managed to get the last pillager in, and now it was time to build the nether side. Now you're probably wondering about the water streams. Well, if you're curious on how I got the water, go watch my other videos where I explain it. But if you want to know how I move it, I have a waterlog block, then I zero tick it to where I want. All I had to do was light all of the portals and the farm was finally done. And now the farm is finally turned on and now we just wait for the iron golems. Oh my god, there we have it. The iron golems are now coming through and now we can finally collect the items and then store them in shulker boxes. Now I just want to say thank you so much if you made it this far, it means a lot. This is just a side project where I enjoy making these kinds of videos. I don't do it with every project of mine on my survival world, but I will occasionally make one if I'm not already making a video. I know this video isn't perfect, but after having PC issues, a lot of files were deleted, so I had to cut most of it out. Anyway, thanks for watching, let me know if you have any projects in mind, and goodbye.